I'm a teacher in Florida, and I've been a teacher for I think like 23 years now. And I've taught my students are 11 to 12 years old. But I've also taught older school students for high school, and I'm looking forward to answering your questions today. And thank you to your teacher, Hari Krishna, for inviting me.
Thank you so
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
My name is Maheshwar. I am an 8th grader from GPHS Penmaka. I would like to ask a question.
Great, thank you. What
My
is your
question,
question?
my question is, can you share some tips for students who want to improve their Spanish speaking skills quickly?
Sure. I'm curious, do any of you know any Spanish words?
Unfortunately, most of my students have no knowledge about the Spanish words, but of course, we are going to learn a few words at least through this session.
Sure. Well, maybe I could teach you a few basic words and then I could tell you some tips for how you learn those words quickly. So probably a really good one to know in any language or in any country you visit would be hello. And you say that in Spanish, hola.
Hola, ma'am.
Hola.
Hola, hola, hola,
Hola.
Yeah, hola.
Hola.
Okay.
hola.
And I think another one that's very important is to be polite and say thank you. In Spanish, you say gracias.
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 Ah,
Everybody say
yeah,
gracias.
Gracias.
very
Gracias.
good.
Gracias.
Hola, gracias.
Gracias.
Very nice. So back to your question, um, um, Spanish is actually an easier language to learn than learning English or learning Chinese. I'm not sure. I just know a few words in Hindi, but I'm not sure about Hindi. But in Spanish, all of the all of the vowels are always said the same way every time. So they don't change the sounds. In English, they make all sorts of sounds, and English is very difficult to learn. But in Spanish, they always make the same sounds. Maybe you could try these out with me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can repeat after me.
A,
A,
E,
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 I,
I,
O,
O,
Lo,
U.
U,
U,
Yeah, so A,
E.
E,
A,
O.
E.
Yeah,
Yes.
so when you see a new word, you can say it very simply if you learn the vowels. They
Ayaloi.
always sound the same way. So that is my tip for people who are learning
Ayaloi.
Spanish.
Ma'am,
Good morning.
my name is Bhargav. I am an 8th grader from GPHS Pinamaka. May I ask a question?
Yes, please. What is your question?
My question is what inspired you to become a Spanish teacher and how has your journey been so far?
Well, I did not grow up speaking Spanish. I learned Spanish at school. And then when I went to the university, I continued to study it. And I actually received a grant from the government of my country to study in Mexico. So I got to go to Mexico. Um, and I lived with a family and I got to practice my Spanish, um, practice how to teach Spanish, and I find it very fun. Um, the different cultures of all the Spanish speaking countries are quite interesting. Does anybody know how many countries in the world speak Spanish? How many
No,
countries
we don't have
Spanish
any.
does there?
Could you please tell us?
Sure. There are 21 countries
Wow.
that their official language is Spanish. And of course, people live in other countries, but as the official language of their country, 21. So that is 21 different countries and cultures that I get to teach about.
Wow. So interesting. And are there any countries in Asia where Spanish language is spoken?
There is not, but the closest ones would be one in Europe, that would be Spain, and then one in Africa, which is Equatorial Guinea.
Okay, thank you.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
My name is Monica. I am a ninth grader from GPHS Penmark. I would like to ask you a question.
Perfect. Thank you, Monica.
My question is, what differences do you notice between learning Spanish in Florida and in other parts of the world?
That's a great question. Um, so I was not born in Florida. I was born in the north part of my country. So I have got to see the difference even teaching in different parts. And where I live in Florida, Florida, the word is actually a Spanish word. This is a Spanish word that means flowerful, flower, like with a lot of flowers. So just that my state has a Spanish name can tell you a bit about the history here. Um, it was one of the first places to be discovered by the people of Spain. And so there are in our area, and then of course, south of us geographically, there's many Spanish speaking countries. Of those 21, 19 of them are below Florida. So many people from those countries work in Florida or move to Florida or have their families. So for me, what I notice about learning Spanish is that my students are very motivated because they meet people all the time that speak Spanish. Whereas when I lived in the north of my country, they didn't see as much Spanish in their daily life. So my students have the opportunity to hear it and practice it right here at their homes, without having to go somewhere else. So they're much more motivated to learn Spanish.
Okay, thank
Ma'am, my name is Pooja. I'm an eighth grader from GPHS Penmaka. May I ask you a question, ma'am?
Yes, thanks,
How
Pooja.
do you make learning Spanish fun and interesting for your students?
Great. Um, and I have a student and her name is Pooja.
you.
Um,
Indians.
we have many Indian families at our school. Um, uh, I we do so many activities and games every day. We sing a song. Every day we play a game. Today we played this game. This was the game we played today called Headband. and you put the headband on your head, and then there's a secret word here, and you have to describe it to your partner. So I might have this secret word, and my partner has to describe it to me in Spanish, and I have to guess what the word is. So we play many, many games for our learning. Um, I like llamas. Do you know the animal a llama?
No, actually, we don't find that animal in this part of India.
Right, you don't have them, but maybe you've seen a picture of them.
Mm.
And in my classroom, we have many, many llamas. And when my students learn something, it's kind of like a video game. They earn a llama level. And then when they learn the next concept, they can get the next llama, the bat llama. And then when they move on from there, they can advance to Teenage Mutant Ninja Llama. And when they get their llama, they get a sticker badge. They get stickers. So instead of just having a test or a quiz, they're trying to earn a llama. So we do lots of games, and everything has to do with llamas, just to make learning fun.
This is Akbar. I'm a ninth grader. With your permission, may I ask you a question?
Yes, Akbar, thank you.
How does knowing Spanish help students in their future studies, travel, or career opportunities?
Right. So I think especially where we live in Florida, how I shared in Florida, we have many Spanish speakers. So if you work as a nurse or a doctor or a dentist or a teacher, most likely you're going to be interacting with people who don't speak English and speak Spanish. So many people try to learn or have basic Spanish for their jobs. And then we talked about the 21 different Spanish speaking countries, which are very close to Florida, or 19 of them are very close to Florida. So if somebody wants to go on holiday or a vacation nearby, these are very close places to visit. So many people travel to those countries for their holiday, and Spanish is very helpful.
So learning English, in fact, opens the opportunities for the students. I mean, in terms of education, in terms of employment. English is one such a language that gives an opportunity to the students. So, how about Spanish language? Because I heard that Spanish is also one of the languages which can provide the employment opportunities to the students. Could you please explain to us what kind of employment opportunities are there for those who have mastered the Spanish language?
Hmm. I think really any job you can use Spanish, because I was looking up before here, there's 560 million people who speak Spanish.
Oh.
So to any job you can run into somebody who you speak Spanish. I actually I traveled to India in maybe 2016. I was in India, and I had a situation at a restaurant with another traveler who only spoke Spanish. So even when I was in India, my Spanish came in handy to be able to communicate with another traveler. Um, but any job, whether it's a teacher or in medicine, or sometimes when I travel around my state, and I might have to get gasoline in my car, petrol in my car. And if I walk in, that person, may speak only Spanish. So I think for just like daily life and really every single job, if you're a mechanic, maybe your employees, you need to communicate in Spanish. But with so many Spanish speakers, chances are you'll be able to use it.
Okay, thank you so much. And here is another question. What kind of challenges do students, especially Spanish-based countries, face while learning whatever subjects you think? What kind of
Um,
issues they have?
Yeah. It's probably very similar to learning any language, sometimes being accurate. Maybe you have some words and phrases, but maybe you don't say them quite accurately. I think that's the biggest challenge is just getting all those parts to flow, and make sense. But I always make sure to reinforce that being able to communicate and somebody to understand you is the most important, even if it's not perfect. So it's just good to try and try to communicate, and if somebody can understand you, perfect. If you don't say it perfectly, but they understand, that's okay. That's just something you can work on.
Okay, here are actually my last questions. Which is your favorite Spanish country?
Ooh. Well, that's hard. But I did study for a long time in Peru, and I really like the Peruvian culture. It's very has mountains and beaches and pyramids and it has such a variety. And the national animal of Peru, it's even on their flag, is the
Yes,
llama.
yes, yes.
So I think Peru gets my vote.
Mhm. Very good. Thank you so much. And here is my last question. How do you encourage your students, especially those students who are struggling to learn Spanish? How do you encourage them?
Hmm. Um, Yeah, there's always, somebody who's gonna struggle. But I spend extra time trying to help them feel successful. So I might meet with them during a break or during lunch or after school, just for some one-on-one time, to figure out what they're struggling with and help them feel successful and show them that they can be successful and that we can get to the next step.
Okay, thank you so much. And before we wind up the session, may I request you to introduce us three Spanish words, I mean phrases. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Oh, sure. And they're all really similar. I'll write them down so you can see them. Okay, here they are. So I'll say them first and introduce them to you and what it's saying, and then we can practice them together. So the first one is buenos dias. You're actually saying good day. Good day.
Okay.
And then the next one is buenas tardes, and you're saying good afternoon. And then finally, buenas noches, which is good night. So I'll do those one by one, and you can practice saying them. Okay, ready for the first one?
Yeah.
Buenos dias. Buenos
Yes.
dias.
Students, everybody say after me, say after her. Buenos dias.
Bu
Buenos días.
Very
Días.
Yes.
perfect. Okay, ready for the next one? Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes.
Jonas Tardis.
Buenas
Jonas
tardes. Very good. And then last one, buenas noches.
Jonas not.
Buenas noches.
Jonas.
Yeah, buenas noches. Very good, which you all can say to your families in the next little bit.
Yes. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, would it be okay? I have a song that I play for my students that has all three of these. Would
Yes.
it be
Yes.
okay?
It's our
Could
pleasure.
I send you that link and you share it with your
Yeah.
students on at another class?
That's really great for my students. Lovely.
Great.
Yeah.
And then you can get a little taste of what our class is like every day when we open it up. We might listen to that song, so I'll share with you that link.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. And may I request you to give a final message to my students? Message.
Um, well, I thank you for all your thoughtful questions, and I thank you too for taking time out of your evening to invite me and meet with me. I enjoyed your questions, and what I encourage you, whatever language it is that you are interested in studying in the future, just to not be afraid. It's okay if you don't say it perfect. It's okay if you don't know everything. That's how you'll learn and grow. And people appreciate that you're trying to speak their language. So that's my final words. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Jennifer, and thank you so much for your time. And may I request you to take us little away from your classroom so that we would like to see the outside weather. Is it possible? Weather outside
Uh,
from class out of
to
your
see,
classroom?
oh, outside of it?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Well, here is my class. You can see our game area
Yes.
and our board.
Wow. Wonderful.
And outside of my classroom, I'll show you outside and then outside more. Here is our common area.
Mhm. Yes.
So this is where we can have meetings. And we have a map of the world here. And then outside, it is very hot. I know in India in the summer, it's very hot for you too. And here is outside. It's very sunny all the time here. You
Yes.
can see
Yes.
outside some palm trees.
Mm. Yeah. So is it 10:30 a.m. there right now?
Correct, correct.
Mm. Okay. Thank
So
you.
our school day started at 8, so we're 2.5 hours into our school day.